Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a green smoothie today, and I tell you that's one of the best ways to get my daily greens in. I like always different recipes, like smoothies, juices on a fasting day especially, when I don't eat, just drink. So juices and salads, soups, I have snacks, all kinds of different kinds of foods I make, and small dishes, large dishes with one meal or with several. So that the variety I like. Yeah. But on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis, I try to keep it simple. And I have to eat greens every day, that's for sure, because you look at these. These are the most nutrient-dense plant on the planet. It's kale. There are various kinds of kale. This one is usually growing in Germany in wintertime. So it grows all through summer, but in wintertime, when the first frost is there, they harvest it usually. So usually we have in Germany only kale once a year, that's in winter. It's the typical winter vegetable. But now, as we see the Americans, for example, they use kale always. They always began in Germany to have some available all through the year. Lucky. I'm lucky to have that here now. But now it's winter, and I take them from Germany here, from the health food shop, where they have them now full all the time. And because really there's nothing more nutrient dense than you can have. There's no other plant like this, and it's so good. Not only the green. The green by itself is our main food, I would say. Yeah. The green color comes from chlorophyll, and that's how plants make their energy. The sunlight brings them sugar, the energy, the fuel, and we eat that sugar. Our cells burn that sugar, and we give away carbon dioxide. So it's all the other way around, so it's perfect food for us. And the green molecule, the chlorophyll molecule, looks exactly the same as our blood molecule, the red color. The red color molecule looks exactly the same as the green chlorophyll molecule. Was there one difference? The red molecule has an iron kernel. The central atom is iron, whereas the central atom in the same molecule with the green is magnesium. So magnesium, green, iron, red. And that is a perfect match for the green plants and human beings. Yeah, so we eat these greens and greatly thrive. And it brings, when I have a green, and after a day that I don't have a green, some days I lack, I miss. The next day I have a green, and it is as if the body takes a full breath inside, up down to every single cell. The oxygen, the energy goes really deep inside. So really something seems to be missing if I don't have a green. Yeah. And the magnesium also, it helps our muscles to relax. And that's most important. Our muscles can perform at best when they are relaxed. When they are always tense, and there's stress, and then you can't do anything. Yeah, like this, you can't get anything done. You have to be relaxed, and then you can act swiftly in the right moment. Yeah. And magnesium is exactly doing that. So greens are so important, and I can feel it. So to make a smoothie with the greens is a good thing, because kale is the most nutrient-dense plant, but the cells of the greens here, of kale, are very firm, and it's hard to get. You can't eat it like that, but you have to chew for hours. Not hours, but a long time, to really break down the cells. Otherwise, you won't get the nutrients in. The digestion begins in the mouth. You have to chew it up, then the spittle, so the enzymes build in the mouth, and that's the first part of the digestion. And it's with kale, it's very hard. So what I do is I put it into a blender. First I scrape the sticks, the stems off. This is a stem, and we eat it right away, like a rabbit. They're nice. If you harvest the kale, the right time of the season, that means you harvest it after the first frost. There's the most nutrient content. It's almost sweet already. Other times when you harvest, other times can be that the kale tastes a little bit bitter, and then it's not so easy to combine it with other fruit or vegetables to make it delicious. Raw food is very simple. I have 3 stems here, 3 leaves. Just take off the stems here, very simple. And that's to show you how I do that. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Because these here, they are very firm. If I blend that in the smoothie will never be smooth. It will always remain scratching here in the mouth. That's not nice, but I can eat it. It's delicious, actually. It is fun to eat it. I will do it right away, but not now. I can't talk then. I can't speak then. But that's what I always do with the kale. Otherwise, I make a salad. I cut it up, very thin pieces with a chopping knife, and then maybe I massage it with apple cider vinegar a little bit, to really get the nutrients out. And then I let it sit for a moment, and then I put it with other ingredients. I have other recipes out there you can watch other videos. There are many ways to eat kale. If you want it raw, you can also cook it, of course. There are many ways to eat the good greens. Juicing is another one. But you know, a smoothie is very easy. These power blenders are amazing. They break down these heavy cells here until you have everything there you can directly absorb. And that's great. So that's what I do. I break it down in a blender and to get all the nutrients in an easy way. So, but now, I cannot just blend the kale. I have to put something in the smoothie to make it creamy. And that is what I have here today, a persimmon. It's another miracle fruit. Miracle fruit because it's one of the most famous fruit I guess on the planet. It comes from South Asia, I guess, originally. There are even famous paintings about, that's what they look like here. That's a persimmon, typical persimmon. They have different kinds of persimmon. Some are bitter and some are not bitter. This one is not bitter. With the bitter ones, you just have to peel it. The peel can be bitter or tart. Then you just peel it and spoon it out, and then you have a good flavor. But this one I don't need to peel. So basically, these two kinds of persimmons you can buy. But there are many more. But the bitter and the not bitter, that's the most important difference to me. And I didn't know that first. I first got a persimmon in the supermarket. I got a persimmon. Oh, nice. I ate it. Oh, that's bitter. I can't eat it. What now? And I looked it up later. I found, that's a different kind of persimmon. And now I know that. And my health food shop always, when they have it, have the sweet ones. And of course, that's what I want. Otherwise, I would peel it. No problem. But then again, the persimmon is so famous because it has all the nutrients. It has many vitamins and minerals and a huge amount of fiber. It has a gentle, sweet flavor, and the texture. The fiber makes the texture. If you blend something, you have a pudding, for example. Even if this fruit becomes almost liquid, it's that ripe, you can blend it and it comes into a firm pudding. That's the texture. That's the fiber. And this fiber is so important for our health. So it's a good base for a smoothie, a persimmon. Otherwise, I would use a banana. Bananas are very common in smoothies. They are a creamy texture. They're also high in fiber. They have a sweet flavor, and they play with other ingredients very nicely. So bananas are to go to for smoothies, but you can also take a persimmon. Of course, they have a higher nutrition. They are more valuable nutritionally. You can eat a persimmon and be happy. You don't need anything. There are famous paintings, as I said. A Zen Buddhist painting with 3 persimmons in a line. It's a black and white painting. And it's very famous in history of art. I studied that. This famous picture, I guess it was made for Buddhists for meditation to symbolize the nothingness, the pure state of mind, of consciousness, the empty mind, the peaceful state of mind. That's what we all want to have to best perform. And this is the persimmon stands for it, for a good reason, because if you eat it, you're also fine because you don't need anything else. I mean, I talk with a little bit of grain of salt, but it's nice. So I put now these 2 persimmons into my blender, and now I can put the kale on top. Maybe before I put that, I put maybe the lemon and the ginger and the date. I have 2 other ingredients here for make it a little bit more delicious, give it a little bit more character. I have half a lemon here, and 3 dates, small dates, to season a little bit my persimmon. As I said, the persimmon is gentle and sweet. That is a good thing, but it is very gentle. And this here, the kale is powerful. It has a very powerful flavor. 3 leaves here without the stems go together with 2 persimmons and half a lemon and 3 little dates, medium dates. So that balances a little bit, gives a little bit more character to the persimmon to balance this strong kale flavor. Yeah? And to make it runny and creamy, I give orange juice to it. And this is a magic tool for a smoothie. Yeah? As I said, when you just blend the persimmons, you have a pudding. And a pudding is, maybe some would say that's also okay for a smoothie. Yeah, that's fine. But I want to have a smoothie a little bit runnier. So to get it runny, I have to have liquid. You can have plant milk, water, or orange juice. Orange juice is a wonderful thing for smoothies. Yeah, to make an orange juice, you can, if you want to buy, if you make yourself, you can also of course take store-bought orange juice, no problem. But I prefer sometimes when I can to make my own. And this is here a juice orange. It's small, and this is a regular orange. You know, this is big, this is small. Juice orange. They are more inexpensive. They have more juice. Because they are wonderful for fruit salads or just to eat as is. But for juicing, if you put it into a citrus press, the citrus press can get stuck because there's so much fiber inside. Fiber is healthy, but for a juice, you don't want the fiber. This has less fiber, more juice. So more inexpensive and more juice. So my go-to, if I can, my go-to is of course this juice orange. Yeah. So juice orange here, this is maybe 10 or so, 10 oranges juiced. Yeah, these little ones. It's not a liter, but 0.8 maybe or so, I don't know. I don't need all of it. I will see what I need. I have, maybe I'll begin with 1.5 cups or so. I can always add a little bit more. The rest goes into the refrigerator, or I drink it right away, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. So this should be a nice green smoothie to get my greens in a delicious way, because the orange juice gives power to the flavor. It's really amazing in flavor, the oranges, and they are super high in calcium also. I mean, calcium is also in kale, of course. There's everything in there, but oranges might be a good thing here for the flavor too. Blender dense. It looks quite nice. You still see here there's a little bit of texture. That's from the kale. It needs really a long blending because the texture, the cells of the kale plant are really firm. So a lot of blending is needed. If you don't have a power blender, it's not easy to get a nice smoothie with a regular blender. If you only have a regular blender, I would recommend to cut the kale into really small pieces. On a cutting board like this, you cut it until it's very small, then it's easier. And you blend a little bit longer. And you begin maybe just blending with the kale only. You put the kale on the bottom, put a little bit of orange juice, and then you blend it, because when you have only a little bit in there, the blending is easier. The blender has less work. Put all the things together, you have a power smoothie. You can, as power blender, you can do that. But with a smaller blender, you can help yourself a little bit. Because especially with the kale, it's really very firm, and you need some tricks. Maybe you have a regular blender, but you can do it. So let's check now. The texture is very important. It looks nice. Yeah, it's still a little bit thick. I would prefer a little bit runnier. This is the pudding texture from the persimmon. It's still there. Yeah, but let's see what it tastes like if I have to add something. More juice maybe, more dates, more lemon, I don't know, let's see. Well, I could. So let's begin with a little bit of orange juice. The flavor is nice, yeah. It could be a little bit more sour, but let's wait. Orange have also a sour flavor to it. I have still a little bit to go. Also depends what kind of orange you have. Some oranges are really sweet. as they should. But sometimes the orange also is sweet sour. That depends, you never know. So if I tell you use 10 oranges for juice and use the juice for the blender, for the smoothie, you may be not good because it is just too sweet or too sour. That's why you put more or less lemon. You can only tell if you taste it. One more blender dance to get the texture right. You can see the difference here already. It's getting lighter. You see here, here's a little bit of the dark color from before, and now here's a lighter color. Now the color change is clear, it's visible. So there's some of the change going on with more juice and more blending. Texture is still creamy. From the persimmon, it's really amazing. This fiber in the persimmon is really extraordinary. Not many fruit I've seen that have make such a transformation that the blending is. I don't know any other fruit that is. Orange is similar, but orange, you blend an orange, it also turns out to be creamy and almost pudding-like, gel-like. But the persimmon beats everything. Blueberry the same. If you blend blueberries, it turns into a gel. But the persimmon is even more. That's interesting because you can do something with fiber, with texture, can create new recipes with using this gel up effect without using any additional, just the fruit, they do it. There's so many different plants. That's such a nice variety, almost endless. We can have so many ways to make nice recipes just by blending a little bit and combining it. Let's see. So I will taste it. The texture is already runnier as I like it. That's a perfect smoothie texture, I would say. But the flavor is most important. Oh yeah. Wow, now we're getting there. I put the rest in. I can even taste the flavor from the kale again. The kale has these, well, like a green plant, kale is like a grass. This typical flavor from the green plants. I can taste it now. I couldn't taste it before. Now it seems the other ingredients, the quantities, the measurements are in balance. So every single flavor comes out at a certain amount. None of the flavors is overwhelming the others. And then you have a full flavor in one flavor. That's nice. I tasted it right now. So one more short blending and then I guess I'm there. I don't need more lemon, but you could, but I don't need. Let's see. Again, you blend it up and it lights up. The blending is really changing the texture a lot. Like cooking. Cooking also is a much stronger transformation of the food processing. Because food cooking is a very strong, intense transformation processing. But blending also is a lot. But if you look at the studies, neither cooking nor blending damages the nutrients. The opposite, if you're blending, is completely good. You get more nutrients from the same food. Cooking sometimes destroys nutrients because some nutrients, they fall apart if you heat them. It's not so good. So cooking, if you want to do that, I would always suggest do it carefully. Not overheating, not too much heat, not too long. And so that the veggies remain remain what they are. So not always. Tomatoes are different, but we're not talking about cooking here in this show. I'm in a raw here. But I just want to mention there is a similarity between cooking and blending, and so it's not that far away. Let's taste it. Looks very nice. Yes. I needed all the orange juice. So 10 juice oranges, and I show you now what the smoothie looks like. So you have an impression about the texture and the color. Close up here, you see? Isn't that beautiful? That's my kale smoothie now, my green smoothie for the day. I'm sure I have all my greens in for the day. I'm very happy with that. And it makes a difference. Really, eating greens makes a difference. And as I said, I have it every day. I have a lot of kale recipes on my channel, MD Vegan on YouTube. And you can find also persimmon kale smoothies. Kale persimmon smoothies. You find them. And they are different. This one is a little bit more refined. I have added lemon and date. There's another one, very simplistic, only kale and orange juice and a persimmon. But you know, I try to make it a little bit, give it a variety and more ingredients. Begin with a small base recipe. So is it possible, the question, is it possible to blend the kale leaf into a fruit smoothie like with a banana or with a persimmon or with the orange juice? How do I do it in the easiest way? When I find it, I take the next step, refine it with lemon and date fillet, maybe also lemon and ginger, or date and ginger could be the next step. Yeah, that's how I proceed a little bit. And there are so many recipes I'm working on all the time. You know, over the years, more and more recipes are here in my list. You find them all on my channel, and when it's a good one, I put it on the channel. And maybe next year I give the next step to the same recipe. And soon the book will come out. I'm almost finished now. I'm refining a little bit, tweaking here and there, where you have an oversight over all my recipes on YouTube. I've been there now for 8 years, more than 3,000 recipes there. And I have a little bit of an overview. It's interesting to have a look at that in hindsight. What did I do all the time? How did I proceed? And I have some food categories, 12 food categories in that book, about even 9 recipes in each category, like juices, smoothies, soups, plant milks, and so on and so on. You find everything there, salads, dressings, you find all these things there. So yeah, you have then a little bit of base where to start and where you can make your own recipes. So have some basic ingredients, combinations, pairings that make sense to me and maybe to you, and also an idea how to do your own. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Get your greens every day. It's easy, yeah, and it has to be delicious too, of course. That's what you find here. And maybe like my video, subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube, have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.